Hi, this is Adrian, and I'm a bootstrap founder.
Hi, this is Adrian, and I am VC-backed founder.
And we are
Two
Adrians walked in the
into a
startup. So, today, I did an oopsie doopsie. So, last night, I slept over at Adrian's place, and it was late. I was traveling, and like, hey, can I crash at your place? Yeah, sure, no problem. And I like to do meal prepping. So I like to prepare my breakfast at least ahead of time, or at least have the ingredients. So every morning I know what I eat. And normally I like to make like protein oats. So it's basically some oats with some Greek yogurt and various things. But all the ingredients I couldn't really find. And I tried to find substitutes for some of these ingredients. Well, normally it should taste, what I do is like it's oats, but tastes kind of like a cheesecake. Adrian, could you describe what I've made you this morning?
Something so really good that I have to prepare another breakfast to eat.
Exactly. So it tastes like cardboard. And it was horrible. And I was shocked to myself because I felt like small adjustments would have minimal effect. The only reason why I'm telling you the whole story is because today we're talking about failures. And now this was a tiny failure, but in business you do slightly bigger failures than just, fucking up your oatmeal. Adrian, what is failure to you?
Failure to me means right now, because in the past had a different meaning. In the past, failure for me was more like something not really good, something that I feel bad about, something that I feel failure as a person, failure as what I am doing, failure as what I try to learn. So that was in my past. But today, failure, for me, it's more like a journey, more like a way to learn things, a way to identify what I have to master better. Because if I failed, probably I'm not good enough. So it's a signal, it's a strong signal for me to improve something, because it's what I failed.
Interesting. So, when you start your business, what would you say was your first failure or thing which you thought at least as a failure in that definition?
I had multiple failures at my beginning of the business, but one of the most important failure for me at that time was when I tried to raise our first investment round. That was over 5 years ago. We had nothing at that point. We had just an idea to build a better speech-to-text algorithm for the Romanian language, but nothing else. So we made some mathematics to understand, okay, how much money do you need to label the data? How many hours of audio data you have to label in order to train a good enough algorithm to release a first version? So after the entire process, we understand, okay, we need a lot of money to implement that version of the algorithm. So we have two options: keep our job and invest our salaries into developing the algorithm, or try to raise money from investors and accelerate the process. Of course, we choose to accelerate the process, but the process doesn't choose us. So I start to go and enter in multiple discussion with VC. And every time I was rejected by the same reason. The reason that they gave me was I try to sell their story, not a product, because I don't have anything already implemented. So for me, in that moment was really, really difficult, because what I understand was, okay, I'm not a good salesman, because probably if I had better sales skills, I can convince the investor to give me the money. but instead I have zero money for the investor. So we have to invest our own money, our own salaries. We have to work after the main job. And was really painful because you know what you have to build. You know exactly the process to build the product, but you don't have resources and you don't know how to convince people to invest in your idea. So for me, that was one of the first big failure that was painful back to that days. But what I learned from this failure, and that was the moment when I tried to change my mindset, was okay, so you have to better understand how to convince people, how to sell your story, how to sell your vision. Because to be honest, probably if I was put in that situation as my first investor that I talked to, probably I will give the same answer. Okay, guys, sounds really interesting, but I want to view a first version of your algorithm. You don't have track records. You don't build business before. You don't have anything to show me. Just a simple story.
But Mr. Investor, I have passion. Please, don't you see I have passion? Is that not enough?
No, it's not enough. It's not enough.
Love is not enough, it seems like, in business.
Yeah. So that was the moment when I start to learn how to reframe the failure in a different way. I start to reframe the failure in a way to look at me, at my skills, and understand what I have to improve at myself for the next time to be a little bit failure that I was in that moment.
I mean, little less
Better less failure.
Okay, so fail a bit less. Okay, fine. So it's interesting to see what we see as failure because sometimes there is a clear outcome, like, oh, you failed or not failed, right?
Yeah.
As do you want to invest? I don't want to invest. Oh, or you approach a girl like, hey, what's up? Not interested, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes you have like these clear boundaries, sometimes not. And but before going into that, I just want to say, as a bootstrap founder, I didn't have any funding, so I just asked myself, hey, Adrian, you have not many savings. Would you like to invest all your savings in your business? Yes, man, I'm so ready to invest with my own savings for some idea which maybe will work. So I had an easy conversation with my investor.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm trying to think about what was my big failures, and I'm thinking less about the business failures, and I'm thinking about the failures before the business.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing which, like, while you're telling your story with like the VCs, etc., one thing came in mind is my journey of learning chess. Now, before you skip this and like, oh, chess, boring, bro. Like, wait a sec. Yeah, okay, I get it. It's maybe for a lot of people who don't play chess, they think like, yeah, just moving some horsey around and pretend you're Andrew Tate, right? Mm-hmm. Smoke a cigar and do some chess moves. So I think I started playing chess at 16, and my only goal was to beat my father first, right? Like, oh, I need to beat that old son of a bitch. I lost my first game, and then I watched a lot of YouTube tutorials and learned then to beat my dad, right? I learned how to beat, there's even a book, I think, How to Beat Your Dad in Chess. I didn't read that book, but yeah, there's something like that, yeah.
Okay.
Which is, it would have been amazing. That was a perfect product market fit back then, if I knew. Anyway, I then tried playing online. And of course, people online are a bit better, just a teeny bit better than my dad. And that meant I lost a lot of games. And it was really like, I'll be straight here to tell, like, yeah, okay. Oh, you said you changed your mindset. I mean, failure fucking sucks, right? If you lose, you hate it. It's miserable, but it's first time is always bad, whatever it is. Like you're gonna hate it. I'm saying my mindset is a bit more positive, but still, there's the first time failing in a, let's say, a new thing. It's super painful. And I played, I kid you not, over 100 online games, about 100 games. All of them lost. Some drew. And then after my 101st game, I won my first game.
With your father?
No, online. Online. And my dad was easy. As mentioned, 10 minutes of YouTube, it was fine. But playing online with other people, 100 games I lost. And then my 101th, very dramatic way, actually won the game. And then I actually started winning and winning and winning. And when I was winning, it felt good and amazing. Like, oh my God, I'm winning. Oh my God, I crushed that guy. But later on, like, I'm not getting better, right? All those failures were teaching me something. Like, I did this. Like, I was reflecting every game what happened. It was like, I playing game, I lost. Oh no. But I was learning from my mistakes. Like, I failed. Why the fuck did I fail?
Yep.
And most of the time, it's because of me. And in chess, there's no like, the investors had a bad, they had maybe a very spicy taco and their stomach ache and they were not in mood, or they were hangry and they want to hear any, like it, there's a lot of factors we can assume they're external, which unfortunately are out of control. But in chess, it's all you. You lost because you suck, right? Basically. So, and that experience of like just constantly failing and like learning from like your failures, I think is my secret of my, let's say, mediocre success as a startup founder. Because you learn, it's not necessarily, you as mentioned, you're changing perspective. Like, okay, I lost, but I want to say very clear, even though I changed my mindset, okay, what could I do better, etc., it still sucked, right? It's still like, like maybe every time when you lose, the pain is less and less, but it's still present maybe to a certain point where you stop caring then, and then it's like just learning.
Every time it will still suck when you fail because you face emotions. So emotions are there. Emotion doesn't disappear. Well, the single thing that you can control is just how you interpret that emotions and how you understand it's a temporary state. So it's not permanent.
Would you say, well, okay, so we talked about failure. You could say, okay, it's just like, bro, it's your mindset. That's why you're not getting better, because failure is good and you, right? But not everything is binary, right? It's like when you go to investors, it's yes or no. If you play a game of chess, you either win
or lose.
You can actually also draw. But okay, let's say, yes or no. Let's keep this simple. What about things which are not quite clear? Let me give you one example. So let's say you're doing something, you're learning a new skill. You didn't really fail because you're just like trying to learn the skill per se, right? Like, for example, you're trying to maybe understand like marketing. Oh, I read the book, I tried to do marketing, I failed. And it's not quite that. It's not binary like you failed. There's sometimes when you're trying to learn a skill, there's no objective feedback, it's good or bad. Is that also failure? Like, is this feedback, because here I see this is the same idea of a feedback loop. Like you do something, maybe you get some feedback, but it's not always like yes or no, because you didn't really fail per se. How do you see that?
Yeah, in that kind of situation, when you don't have a clear outcome, still you can feel like a failure, because probably in your mind, you have an ideal outcome. So I start to learn marketing. I start to learn marketing because I want to make more money with my business. So I want to make more money with my business. What means more money with my business? I don't know, X amount of money. And if you don't reach that amount of money, probably you feel, okay, I failed. I didn't learn marketing. But so still, I think you can translate into a binary decision. It's yes or no. It's failed or it's not failed. It's probably the same, in my opinion. Yeah. Despite of the fact that at the first glance can be, I don't know, more vague, more generally, more abstract. At that, if you try to break down in multiple steps, I think you can identify a yes or no reason to fail or not.
Well, if what you say then is true, one could say that failure and learning and just growing as a person is the same.
Yeah, it's the same. And I feel on my own journey because I had multiple failures in personal life, starting from dating or interaction with other people. In business, starting with raising money, starting with hiring people, developing the product, understand the customers. So I had a lot of failure in my life. And in the beginning was really painful to as an entrepreneur, especially if you enter the journey of entrepreneurship and you start to build a business, you fail exponential than an average person that, I don't know, keep just the job and have the comfort zone and probably do the same thing. So for an entrepreneur, the failure journey, it's more painful because you have multiple opportunities. But every time when I failed and I try to learn something from that experience, the next time I feel a little better. And every time when I ignore the failure from different reasons, doesn't matter, I repeat the same mistake. And I repeat the same mistake and I repeat the same mistake. Because I don't look at my failure. I don't understand. I didn't understand, okay, what happens here. So the things repeat. So it's really correlated with your personal development.
I agree. I think that's why entrepreneurship is great for anyone who wants, because it's not necessarily business. In beginning, maybe you start for doing money,
yeah,
which is fine, right? It's nothing bad about that. In money inherently, it's not bad by itself. But I think if you see it as, look, I'm trying to become a better person, like though we know entrepreneurs which are one could say, evil or I don't know. But at least for us, I think it was a very good personal development because the point is like, hey, it's about growing very quickly. And I think like sure, there is some macroeconomics things like where your background, where you're starting, where you're doing a business. Also, like if I would assume like if you have kids and, depending on your social economic status and your current phase in your life, it might be harder, etc. But with whatever situation you are, you're forced to grow as quickly as possible. And if you can do entrepreneurship, it's one of the ways to like grow as a person quickly because you're forced to confront your failures. Failing to do so, will result in poor business decisions and you just do not grow as quick because you're just repeating the same mistakes all over again. Yeah. So now I want to tell one more story. And because this is a bit more fuzzy, I think, like about learn. For about 1.5 years, I've been working on a new algorithm called Studio Sound. Basically, you record with a shitty microphone and you'll get something like this out. So like a microphone which sounds like this. A different type of microphone, not of these fancy AKGs or whatever they're called here. These are professional ones. But anyway, the point is, it's an AI, right? And I've been doing a lot of AI research. I've tried a lot of models. And the feedback loop is not clear. As in like, it didn't work, right? Okay, I tried the idea, I tried the model, it didn't work. Maybe I figured out why it didn't work, but sometimes it was not obvious why it didn't work, right? And like I tried to, so it was really like alchemy a bit. It was a bit like trying to find a path when there's no path. And the feedback loop is a bit unclear because like it failed. Nobody will tell you what to do next. It's not obvious what is the next step, and there's no direct feedback loop. And for me, it was very frustrating because I don't know why it wouldn't work, and I would have a guess why it wouldn't work. Okay, maybe not enough data, maybe the architecture doesn't represent that thing, but it was a lot of guessing. And I think research in general is like, it's guessing, a lot of experiments, and it was very. I was, pushing. Now I've got to give you the ending of the story. Actually, I'm very close to I'm very happy with my results now, and I will launch it soon. So it's really good now. I'm very happy. But
yeah, it's really good. I saw a sample last night. It's really, really good.
But before getting that phase, I've tried, I think, over 50 experiments. And yeah, I know I got maybe some idea, but it was soul sucking. 1.5 years of doing constant experiments and feeling helpless. No one to share, like, hey, why this? Because, like, who the fuck is an AI researcher in audio around my friend group?
Mm-hmm. Nobody.
Unfortunately, only me and myself. So maybe the only best friend was getting schizophrenia and then, or become bipolar and then have multiple Adrians to discuss with. But I don't know what is the lesson here, because sometimes you're doing something for so long and you're just pushing yourself, and there's like, it's just soul crushing, and like, because there's no feedback, like, oh, I need to do this. It's like, yeah, you get sometimes, but it's very unclear, and you're just searching a needle in a haystack, trying to become better in this. And I don't know how for me it worked out, but it's like, I would not blame anyone if they would drop off like give up midway. Just to give you one more example for more context, something more simpler. When I was younger, I was doing parkour and also skateboarding. And they're kind of similar here in this context. The pain part, not the the feedback loop was quite direct. So when you do parkour, you do some things which you put your health into risk. And you may hurt yourself while trying to learn a new skill. Like, for example, let's say you're trying to do a front flip. You do a front flip, you land on your back. The feedback is you didn't spin enough, maybe, or whatever. You did something in the technique not quite well, the warm up, etc., the run up, but it's painful. It's you cannot be, oh, you don't have the right mindset, motherfucker. My back is burning. I just hit myself. I'm dead on the floor. What is, I'm in fucking pain. I'm dying here. And you tell me, yeah, but it's your mindset, bro. It's your mindset. It's like, you just need to see this as a positive experience.
Yeah.
So you have pain there. It's there, real.
It's physical.
Exactly, it's physical. You do, let's say you try to do ollie on the skateboard. The board goes between in your nuts. You're screaming out of pain. Oh, bro, you jumped so high, man. Like, I'm dying. I might be childless. I could, I'll be childless now. Childless now. Lots more. MMA, right? Oh, you do sparring. You get a jab in the face, and a very hard one. Oh, bro, you didn't focus. Yeah, I know, bro. I'm tired. Like, focus more. Yeah, I know, but
I'm still tired.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's what would you say in that regard? What do you think about that?
When you told me that story, I remember me in different situations when I feel kind of the same, especially I think it's in entrepreneurial life, but probably in real life it's applicable too. When you try to do something new to you, for example, learn marketing or I don't know, other type of skills. In my experience, I had multiple times when I don't have other people to, I don't know, brainstorm or exchange ideas or a playbook to apply step by step. Okay, what I have to do in order to master this skill. And this process, it's scary from a point of view because you you are aware you have a lack of these skills. You don't have a playbook or know exactly what to do. You don't have other people to brainstorm about, okay, bro, how I can improve my marketing skills or whatever. And you have to figure out yourself, doing by yourself. And this is something that I also experienced recently with Vatis when I from the point of view of business, we have almost the same revenue for 6-9 months. So I try to discuss with multiple people. Basically, nobody can give me an accurate advice about how to move the business beside the current MRR.
Basically, you plateaued and you know how to overcome the plateau, right? The SaaS plateau.
Yeah, and advice that I received was, okay, hire salespeople. I don't know, do more marketing or something really, really basically. But this type of advice doesn't help you. So what I learned from here, it's the fact that multiple times during the journey, probably will feel alone because experience entrepreneurship, it's not for everyone. And how many friends entrepreneur do you have? So the journey, you will feel lonely in multiple situations. So you have to figure out by yourself.
Maybe that's a new another episode idea about mental health.
Yeah, because it's really hard. It's really hard to run a business, manage your mental health, also manage your people and keep them up. So
make some good oats as well.
Make some good oats as well. Yeah.
Now, on the positive side, after a while, I don't know how you feel about it, but making a lot of mistakes sets you free. You stop caring. It's like the pain maybe becomes more dull. And it's like, stop caring maybe sounds bad, but I think in this case, it's like a quite positive effect because you just do shit, man. You have a thought, you just do it. You don't think about, oh, what if this gonna happen? What? I don't care. I just don't have time. I'm gonna do it now. Doesn't matter what's the outcome, right? You just do it without thinking too much about the outcome because you'd be like, I'm gonna fail anyway. I'm just gonna start now. Start the fail process now, and you just move quicker somehow. And I think that's by doing that. Because first of all, nobody cares, right? I think that's one of the things because you're lonely in the process and realize nobody gives a shit, which is okay, right? Like we're not we're not the main characters of the world. We are the main characters of our own movie.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no need to anyone else to care about it necessarily. Maybe they will be intrigued, but that's not a given. So if nobody cares, and failure is, for sure, it's certain. It's a really freeing thought because you can do whatever you want to do. And if you keep it long enough, maybe you won't be world expert, but you won't be bad at it, right? At least. And that's quite motivating, I think. Like, you do this, and if you ignore the emotional part, etc., you'll be good at it eventually.
Yeah.
As mentioned, world class, it's, like, oh, I'm going to be a world class guitarist. Nah. I will be okay. I could play maybe some chords, maybe play some songs, will be decent about it. But I'm not, most likely I won't be world class. It's, first of all, business, you focus on other stuff in your life. But yeah. And most cases in life, you don't need to be world class. You just be good enough. And if you have a lot of skills which are good enough, that is, at least from a business perspective, enough to make money, right? So
yeah,
I feel it freeing.
Yeah. As an entrepreneur, you don't master a skill really, really good. You master multiple skills at a medium level because it's your job to master multiple things, to handle multiple things, but in an average way.
Maybe not using the word mastering. Maybe we learn things good enough, because mastering implies, mastery.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what is failure for you? How would you sum it up for you?
Failure for me right now, it's a signal that I have to improve something at me.
For me, failure means freeing yourself. Okay. Thank you for listening, and see you next time. Bye-bye.